Aloha. Today I wanted to do a quick video on the concept of freedom and the national anthems that we have, and how the national anthems are they're all magic spells. They're all just to keep you in this nationalistic state of mind, which is just a control. It's like land of the free, home of the brave, Star Spangled Banner. Like, it's all about war and destruction and starting your history, your understanding of yourself on a sub layer, on a subsurface layer of your reality. So when we talk about the so-called land of the free, this is the United States. They refer to it as America. It's not America, just as the Washington D.C. is not part of the United States. Washington D.C. is its own thing. It's its own like little corporation, and the United States is its own corporation. But they refer to these things as America to make themselves bigger. Just as the Star Spangled Banner and all this stuff makes you feel connected. It's trying to unify you into this idea of freedom and unity and brotherhood and all that. But it's really at its deepest layer through the university system, through the public education system, which is why I'm making this video. It's the institutionalization. I remember being forced to sing the national anthem in school, and I was just really uncomfortable with it, and I didn't sing it most of the times. And I had there was like a little crew of us who didn't sing it because we knew what was up. We knew how stupid that shit was, and it was a problem for me. And I'm seeing now what it actually was, and I was a kid back then, so picking this stuff up as a kid, consciously, like, what were we being indoctrinated with on the subconscious level? So basically, there is no freedom. There's no freedom, period. Just like when you understand the relationship between angels and the Most High, you can understand that even the idea of free will is not really existing. Free will exists in one perspective, but free will on another layer. When you're really expanding it out to as far as you can go, like, and you have a connection with your creative space, like you exist within a particular dimension. We have a freedom within the physical reality, but there's limitations within the physical reality. So our free will is basically locked down as a whole when you take into account your limitations within your dimension. So you have a free will based upon what your higher self determines you to experience within this reality. So that necessarily is not your free will, but you see it from your eyes, your physical eyes, your experiential reality as a free experience. It's not. So this is what the nationalistic system has done to our conscious state and our society as a whole. It's saying, constantly reassuring you that you are freedom. This is freedom. You are free because you have this, you do this, and other people can't do this. It's based upon comparison to other things that have been destroyed. And it's not for your benefit. It's not for it's not for you. So let's see what it is. 1814. Let's see what the lyrics are in here. The This is like, if you're in a prison, if we see this place as a prison as a whole, then you can see that look at this. See, even in this you get scientists up here, Stephen Hawking, Michio Kaku. They're telling you, what all this stuff is. You're just looking up for the Star Spangled Banner stuff. This idea of freedom is going to be expanded on a human scale, which is what the whole global warming, climate change, United Nations amplification is being pumped up for. And we have ideas of ourselves. Like, this is why I had Black Jeopardy on the front, because it just pisses me off even more. So just like I was saying, you exist within a reality. This reality that we exist in, like, this is not black culture. These are not black people. This is the side effect to slavery and an artificial culture, like a design. I won't call it white culture, because it's not a white culture. It's more of a computer program that has been designed to grow people a certain way, to create a system where they act a certain way. Like, this is not the representation of the black human being. This is a result of institutionalization that has manifested into personalities, into characters, into this version of reality that we call culture, but it's all with an asterisk. It all has like an asterisk on it. It's not a real culture. It's and this goes for every single culture. I'm speaking in regards to the United States right now, because I've done a good amount of traveling, and I've interacted with people in Italy. I've interacted with people in Egypt, and in Peru, and in Tokyo, and Hawaiian style. Like, you have all these different versions of people, and there's a realness, there's a genuine space that exists within everybody that is the essence of who these people are. And the essence here in the United States has been completely flip-flopped, and it still exists. Like, you can never destroy it, but you can cover it up with a bunch of makeup and a bunch of psychological makeup. So this is what it basically is. It's psychological lipstick, psychological foundation, like all this stuff. Yeah, like whatever the makeup, all the makeup that you see to cover up your eyes, cover your nose, cover your ears, cover your hair, all the clothes that we wear. This is all a side effect and a condition when you factor in that Hollywood, celebrities, the mainstream media, commercials, it programs you how to dress. It programs you how to think, how to act, how to raise your children. And what's funny, what's not funny, what's popular, everything, every single detail of our lives, when you factor in this layer of reality, is dictated. It's controlled. And even on a personal level with YouTube stuff, like, I know so when we talking about freedom and stuff, and you got freedom of speech, first of all, you don't have freedom of speech. Proof of that is that if you say the wrong thing, if you say anything that will offend anybody, in the like government scene or in celebrity scene or something, you will be filtered. Like, you will be filtered on the internet, on Facebook. This happened to me on Facebook. This happened to my brother on Instagram, and it's happening to me on YouTube, and many others on YouTube, everywhere. If there are any filters that exist that will stop you from sharing stuff, whatever it is, and that will promote others to share their stuff, that is not a freedom. That is a control grid. Every single thing is controlled. You have to search hard for the information that is part. These algorithms here on the side, these are all for you to think and act a certain way. Saturday Night Live is an algorithm. It is a design to maintain. This is why they have politics on here all the time. This is why they have celebrities in here all the time and musicians all the time. This is a very important part of this system we call the control grid. And yeah, it's so blatant, and it directly relates to our very personalities and what we call freedom. This is the design of control. It's a psychological makeup, a psychological lockdown. And it reminds you that you are a slave, that you are weak, that you are shallow, and you're basically everybody in this idea of mainstream culture is, every single person that is famous, whether you be black, brown, whatever it is that you are, whatever your makeup is, you exist in the so-called white culture. This is indigenous land in the United States. They refer to the United States as America. This is indigenous land. Every single thing built on top of this foundation is an artificial grid. To the personalities that we have saying, "Oh, I'm Amir. This is Amir, yo, and I'm Killy. This is my hair. I bought it." Like all this shit. And, "Oh, I'm Jared. I'm a Canadian black guy." That shit right there is the most fucked up programming that you could see, because we're enjoying this. This is supposed to be laughter. Like, this is supposed to be like part and then you have the supremacy program looks at this and then says, "Oh yeah, those are those people. Those are those people. That's their comedy. They gotta have one skit for them. Ha 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 ha." That whole fucking shit right there is normal for this program right here. That idea, that laugh, that whole personality, this is what we call normal. And this is at the infrastructure of these personalities. People act a certain way. They think a certain way. And it's all a reactionary basis. It's based upon a reaction to a system that has been locked into our very nature as a kid. And, yeah, I want to see that. So yeah, we see this is what we were telling ourselves. Twilight's last gleaming. So dawn's early light. So a lot of people can refer to that as Luciferian, starting off as a Luciferian, the morning star, dawn's early light. Probably we held Twilight's last gleaming, stripes and stars. Y'all know what the flag represents. That's blood on the flag. These stars are colonial stars, so they're just colonizing, conquering things. conquering places, destroying stuff. Everything built upon 1492 here in the United States. Rockets, red glare. These are worshipping destruction, bursting in air. This is all. They're gallantly streaming. This is all celebrating death. This is a death worship, a death celebration. This is why you have horror movies as a genre. This is why you have action movies as a genre that are all based upon war and destruction and fighting and killing, so they can get more people into the military industrial complex, joining the military so they can go fight a war that they invented to make themselves bigger. They're just bullying people. It's a big bullying program. And like I said in one of the previous videos, it's the bully program is based upon making other people wrong based upon the theories that you say are right, and not addressing or even being open, being in fact closed off to any version of communication. You're never wrong, like you're always right. And if anybody says anything different, then they are wrong. Something is wrong with them. That's what's going on here. It's this patriarchal program that's not open to discussion. It's just not at all. And if you are trying to do something good, they will take you out. This is what happened to Gaddafi. This is what happens to all the people who try to run their own world, or their own land and their own groups of people in a way that's not part of this whole cool crowd crew. And it's this is all, and they'll just take you out. It's just destruction. It's death worship, literally death worship, and they're getting ready to go on. I was just watching this video. Bill Maher latest had Michael Moore on his show, and they were talking about documentaries and all this stuff. Even their layers of documentaries, even the people who have seen the Thrive documentary, that's a layer that was brought up by Procter and Gamble. The Thrive documentary talking about free energy and all this stuff. This is that new age shit that's coming about that will be just a deeper layer of control, trying to be pawned off as freedom and free energy and this and that. There's all these layers that are being created. It's like to keep you from expressing and finding and tapping into your maximum potential. So they'll give you all kinds of toys. This is what Christmas is about. This is what Mother's Day and all these holidays are, to keep you distracted, to keep you in a state of dormancy, a time bubble that is given to you. And if you get out of that, then you're not cool. You're not part of the cool crowd anymore. Like, if you don't have this many followers, or if you don't dress a certain way, if you don't go do certain things, then you're not cool. You're not relevant. So this is what the whole mainstream disease is about. And it goes back to what it's all founded in the facade of freedom. We do not have freedom. This is deep, the way our program. This is a prison. They tell you the land of the free, home of the brave. When destroying people the way they destroy with the military system, dropping bombs and drones and all that stuff, that's not brave. That's not brave at all. That's the most cowardice bullshit you can even do. And they've even dropped bombs here in their own people. In Philadelphia in '85, they dropped bombs in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921. They won't tell you about these stories. This is the very system itself has dropped bombs in Philadelphia and Tulsa, Oklahoma on its own people. Like, they do not care about you. please look into that. If you haven't looked into the Philadelphia bombings and Black Wall Street bombings, look into that stuff and see what kind of freedom and bravery that we have here. It's not. We have the highest prison lockup, people in prison all over the plane, Earth's plane. Like everybody is locked down here. And to to tell you that you are free and brave is just like trying to tell you that you live on a globe. It's an upside down, backwards indoctrination program to make you live in a McDonald's version of your reality and start to worship at its deepest layer. You're worshiping death. When you're watching all these movies and your superheroes and all this stuff, it's triggering your subconscious to live in a fear vibration and lock you down. And this is not freedom. This is not brave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is not free. Everybody's in prison. You're not free to say what you don't have freedom of speech. You're getting, they're talking about, they're putting all this stuff out about taking guns and all this stuff. Then you're not even going to have the freedom to protect yourself and all that stuff. And that's based upon, that goes into the foundation of fear in itself. Like, to have to protect yourself with a gun and all that stuff. Like, locking you into the physical reality as a whole, locking your power, your foundation, your true energetic connections in the physical reality. Like, it's not based upon a gun. It's not based upon that level of stuff, because we're not the physical space. Like, there's a deeper layer of protection and power that comes from knowing who and what you are, that it goes beyond a gun and this physical reality as a whole. This is this insanity that we live in, that we call free and bravery. You have all these army commercials on television all the time. Your babies are being programmed to hear. I'm seeing this now. I remember when they started coming out with these commercials a lot more. It was right after I went into the army. Because they weren't on TV at all, and then all of a sudden they were on TV all the time. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, like, I didn't have to. They must be getting a lot of people joining now with all these commercials, and I didn't have to. I didn't even have commercials like that. When it started getting all like, get this MOS, like, scale down a mountain, travel and get money for college, all that shit. Like, when they made it hip to destroy and sign a contract to give your life away to destructive lies, then that was a big shift in gears. And my main point is that these are like 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kids. Even the babies are getting this programmed into their space, and hearing this music, hearing this, seeing their mom and mother and father's bodies respond in an energetic way when a commercial comes on, because the music and the whole picture is designed to make you feel and act a certain way. They have a conversation about, oh, I should have joined. I was going to join the army, or I did this. The baby sitting there looking up at this conversation. 18 years later, they joined the military because of this 18 years of programming from commercials. Like, this is how deep this stuff goes. And since they took this out of our system, saying the Star Spangled Banner in school, or not this. We weren't saying this. I can't remember what the hell were. Yeah, it was this. or whatever the hell we were. Was it this? No. I pledge allegiance, that's what it was. Pledge allegiance to the flag. So you're pledging allegiance to the Star Spangled Banner in school. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God. Like what God? What God are they talking about? The God of destruction, the God of death, the God of control and prison and war. This is what their God is. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, like all that. It's a lie. It's a straight up backwards lie. They're locking you into this grid. And so that's the conscious level of the kid having to sing the Pledge of Allegiance. And then this is the subconscious programming of what you're actually saying when you're pledging allegiance to this. The flag of blood, genocide, colonization, European extensions. Valiant, or they're making heroes out of themselves. This is what Hollywood is all about. And all these people that are on TV, they're just slaves that are telling you to be slaves. They're successful slaves. The American dream is a slave program. This is a total death worship. We all this heaven, rushing land, praise, power. We are a nation to conquer we must. Or conquering your consciousness, conquering your humanity, conquering life, and replacing it with the 99th percentile of death, and calling it freedom and bravery. And this be our motto: in God is our trust. They never talk about which God, because this is a Roman system. This is based on Roman and Greek understandings. And the Greeks had a lot of gods. So if this goes back, if you trace it back, basic math, to talk about it, they're not talking about the Most High. And they got or I don't know if I even mentioned that. I think I mentioned it and then got off track. Bill Maher. Yeah, I didn't talk about Bill Maher and Michael Moore were talking about in their latest video going on the atheism tour and doing an atheist comedy tour and really just, you can see this is a split. This is what's happening right now. It's a controlled demolition. They build up religion with Fox News and all this, and the church system and all this stuff, and then implode it and then create more bad guys so you can create good guys. Because the good guys are now based upon, like in the previous videos, I was talking about, I think Bill Nye or Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the two, were saying, like, if you're not with technology, you're not with expansion. It's not expansion. It's like I can't think of the word right now, but it's basically like evolution. You're not with I can't even think of the word. Whatever it is, you're not with us. You're not with progress. Yeah, that wasn't the word either, but it's like a synonym of progress. So it's like you're not with innovation. That's the word. If you're not with science and technology and evolution as a whole, you're not with innovation. And their innovation is based upon atheism. So if science is the foundation, the university system is a foundation for politics as a whole, and they're saying in God we trust, then they're talking about a God that doesn't connect with the Most High. If you break it down to its basic observations, they say in God we trust. They say it's on the money, They say it all the time in politics. And science is the foundation to the university system, which is the foundation to these bachelor's degrees and doctorates and master's degrees, all within your political parties and your so-called leaders. They are atheists. They are based upon the separation from the creator when you talk about global warming, or global warming, but the globe model as a whole and that whole system. So they are based upon their version of God, their backwards, upside down version of it's an artificial God. So when you go into the Roman and Greek foundations and you go into the just seeing what the science community is all about, what's on the money, they're talking about God. What God? What God are they talking about? And where is their energy coming from? Where is it coming from? Where is it going? Where is your energy coming from? Where is it going? Why are we indoctrinated consistently with these fake ass limitation programs, these artificial human beings, these artificial personalities, these artificial interactive spaces, these artificial leaders to tell you who and what you are? Like, why does this stuff exist like this? Because this program is not at all for you, because this is a prison. Calling it freedom, it's a prison. And when this goes even more to people when they're talking about NASA, and like, oh, we need to talk to NASA to get NASA to release this, and let's talk to our politics to do this and do that. No, you talking to prison guards. You have to come up with this stuff on your own. We have to find out who we are outside of this version of soul. This ain't soul, just like soul food ain't soul. This ain't the soul of the black community, the black essence. This is not who we are. This is a side effect to slavery. This is a side effect to genocide and indoctrination. This is not. It's just a stealing of all these cultures, putting it on the television as this is what's funny. This is what it is. Shut your mouth. Just be a part of this system, and then that's it. It's not freedom. So I just wanted to share this moment of expanding on a few things that I became aware of, and that whole Bill Maher, Michael Moore shit, talking about they're gonna try to get these comedians to do a atheism tour. It's just forming itself. You can see what it is right now. When you talk about flat earth and it's the creator space, they're realizing people are not being caught up in just the flat earth stuff, and they're realizing people aren't going to stop at just the physical reality of, like, we need to get NASA and the government to tell us and show us the maps and show us the pictures. They know people are connecting with their creator space, so they have to kick it into another gear to where they got to create these bad guys and people who are good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll leave it there. Yeah, just observe this stuff for what it is, and see when they're talking about God, and you know what God. This is what they hold dear to them. You got presidents on the money who are known for scalping the indigenous people. Like, we have to expand our consciousness outside of the space that destroys all of this, all of our very natures, or who we think we are. This is not who we are. This is not black people. This is it. This is not it. This is some bullshit. So, and it's not just for, I'm not saying it's just for black people, but also for every other culture and peoples and the people who are still caught up in the mindset of the supremacy program to see that you are also seeing this from a foggy lens perspective. If you think this is what black people are all about, this is not. This is a slave program. This is an indoctrination of today to have us enslaving our children. That's what Saturday Night Live is all about. To tell you to vote, tell you to... Oh, that's what I wanted to add to this is this nobody for president shit that's coming up too. Like, you get ready to see, like, watch these trends. So you got Bernie Sanders out there, and they were pumping all that stuff up and making Rosario Dawson out there and all these celebrities go for Bernie. Now they're talking to all these celebrities talking about nobody for president. So think about it. Like, what would be their next step if this is the trend that they're using their demigods to sell to you? What's their next step if they haven't allowed Barack Obama to really become campaign Obama, and he hasn't said anything? As much shit is out there about Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, he's a black president. He ain't said shit about black people. He said more shit about gay people and the gay agenda than black people. If he's supposed to be the black president, best believe they're holding his card to sell a nationalistic global agenda. They're going to use that charismatic slave owner to sell an agenda, and it will be in the name of this God that they are underhandedly selling to you. This God of destruction, this God of death. It won't be in the name of the Most High. This is why they got Michael Moore out there with all these scientists out there, Michio Kaku, Stephen Hawking, all these people out there selling you atheism, because they want you to buy the next layer of programming, which is worshiping a God, but a God of destruction. It's the new religion, science and the new religion. So whether they take away the God space completely and just say, oh yeah, people are delusional for believing in a creator, or they come up with a God, like a destructive God, to send that energy to. Either way, it won't be for you. It'll be one and the same, because it'll be a lack of it will still exist within a prison, and it will still exist in a space that is not connecting to the most high potentiality or most high expressions as yourself. Just like this, Black Jeopardy is not what black power or black people are all about. This is what bullshit is about. This is what slave minds is all about. The way they put these generic ass personalities on here. Yeah, I'm Amir. I wear a black vest. I'm here to represent this type of black individual. I'm Keely. I bought my hair down the street, and here's the receipt. And that's what kind of person I represent here on Black Jeopardy. Yo, I'm the celebrity Canadian black guy who's trying to sell the mixed black and white individual who's trying to soften up, like all this stuff. Yeah, this is all a psychological fucking program, and it's sickening. It's ridiculous. That's what this whole Saturday Night Live is, and yeah. I'll leave it there. Thank you for joining me. Till next time, peace, love, and harmony.